Welcome to Just Ride Bikes. I'm David, and this is a brand new Cannondale SuperSix Evo. And this is no quick ride around the block, first ride. Oh no, I'm in southern Spain and I've been riding a bike for the last week and racking up some big miles to try and find out if the new bike is good enough to compete with its rivals. And yes, it looks the same as the old bike. Visually, side by side, there's a lot of similarity. It's definitely a case of evolution, not revolution. And that's no bad thing. The old bike was a very good all-round race bike and just needed some improvement and refinement here and there. Despite looking the same, there are some key changes. Some you can see and some you can't. Up front, we have a new deeper fork with a slimmer crown, a deeper, narrow head tube, and a rounded off top tube and a nice deep aero down tube. But then out back is much skinnier and slimmer than before. And that trend of being deep aero up front and skinny and lightweight out back is similar to what we saw with the Specialized Tarmac SL8 when that launched a few years ago. Not as extreme here, but definitely going down that route of maximizing aero up front for that frontal surface area, and then saving weight where you can at the back where aero matters less. And saving weight has been a big focus of the new bike. And the new frame is indeed lighter, down to 728 grams for the top end Lab 71 version, with 3 levels of carbon to choose from. That's a 42 gram saving over the old bike, and the entire frame set is nearly 150 grams lighter. That saving puts a new bike closer to the Specialized Tarmac's 685 gram frame weight and ahead of the 796 grams of the Trek Madone SLR. And for complete bikes, you're looking at a claim weight of 6.35 kilos in the lightest SL climbing focused build with lightweight wheels and a narrow skinny handlebar, and 6.95 kilograms for a top of the range Lab 71 with deep section wheels and the aero handlebar. Naturally, the new bike is more aero than the old Gen 4, but not by a huge amount. Most of the aero savings come from the new fork blades and the head tube and a new narrow aero handlebar. They haven't chased aero as much as chasing weight, but it is more aero by a small amount. About 1% more aero than the old bike, so about 2 to 4 watts at 40 kilometers per hour. And the old Gen 4 did compare well to its main rivals in windtunnel testing from the likes of Cycling News and Tour magazine. So we'll wait to see what their tests reveal about the new bike in the next few weeks. But around my local roads, it's definitely a quick bike and compares well to its main rivals. A big part of the aero improvement is a brand new handlebar, which is as narrow as the UCI rules allow, down to just 34 centimeters on the smallest bike sizes and 36 on the bike I was riding. The new System Bar Road has a truncated aero profile with 20mm of flare in the drops and joined by a brand new Road SL, which drops the aero profiles in favour of rounded tops and sees the weight reduce as a result to just 265 grams. The perfect option for climbing monkeys and weight weenies. Both handlebars have a nice, solid, neatly integrated computer mount as well. One big change you can't see on the new bike is the improved geometry. And I say improved because the stack is now 10mm lower. So the old Gen 3 went higher than Gen 2, but Gen 5 gone back to how it used to be, so lower, as it should be for a race bike, for the pros designed to race a bike, like Ben Healy, for example, and puts it more in line with its rivals right now and creates a better separation between the SuperSix Evo, the race platform, and a Synapse endurance bike. There's also 2 more sizes, with 50 and 52 replacing the old 51 centimeter size, so smaller people get a better fit on the new bike. A few more updates to wrap up before we hit the road. The new frame gets a UDH hanger plus new aero cages and bottles
that are 26% lighter, included on high mod and Lab 71 builds, and yes, they work just fine with standard round bottles. Up front, there's a close-fitting flush through axle on the fork. Tyre clearance remains as before at 32mm. There's the same Delta triangular stereo tube for full internal routing, and we have the same 68mm threaded bottom bracket as before. And no, the new bike isn't compatible with SmartSense anymore. What a relief. The new SuperSix Evo range starts from £4,500 in the UK for the Evo 5 and tops out at £12,500 for Lab 71 and Lab 71 SL models. There are also Lab 71 and high mod frameset options for £5,000 and £4,000 respectively. Now let me show you the bike I've been testing and share my riding experience of the new bike on the sunny roads of southern Spain.
And the bike I'm riding is the high mod frame with a SRAM Force Axis group set and weighs 7.5 kilos on my scales for a size 56 with no pedals or bottles fitted. As you can see, the round bottles fit in the area cages just fine. I may use it because I need more water for the long rides out here, so no issues there, don't fall out. And I put a Wahoo up front and a Wahoo radar rear light. They're very common out here, these radar lights, and a silk saddlebag. And that's the only change I made, and my speed play pedals. And one detail worth noting are the wheels. In the past, Cannondale bikes have been spec'd with their own hologram carbon wheels, but they're no more, they're dead, because Cannondale now part of the same family of bike brands as Santa Cruz, Cervelo, Focus, and that means reserve wheels. Developed initially by Santa Cruz for their bikes and now used by the Visma Pro team, and they are a good high quality wheel set with lots of development time and money going into them, so it makes sense to put the wheels on their bike. But a bit sad that Cannondale don't have their own wheels and cranks like they used to in the past. So high quality wheels, light MV, shallow at the front, deeper at the back, wide profile, but no hookless here, they're hooked, and short in this case with high quality Vittoria Corsa Pro tyres measuring 29mm wide. And the only blemish I've had on the bike is a puncture on the rear tyre. These tyres are fast, very quick, but I think they are a bit fragile compared to other tyres, and I got a cut on the rear tyre which required a tubeless plug. A minute's work, no bother, but other than that the bike has been perfect, hasn't put a foot wrong all week. So, how's the ride then? Well, very nice indeed. It's clearly a quick bike, as fast as its rivals, the Canyon Air Road CFR, Trek Madone SLR, and a Specialized Tarmac S8. Very quick, and got that all-round appeal too. Light enough, fast enough, comfy enough, and truth be told, it does ride and feel very similar to the old bike, which is no great surprise given how close the two bikes are. Really is evolution and refinement, and that's no bad thing. The SuperSix Evo has long been a fantastic race bike, an easy bike to race, to ride for fun, and to recommend you to buy. And I may be biased here, but as somebody who still owns an original SuperSix Evo from 2012 and did a bunch of road racing when I lived in London, it's a bike I've always liked. Just get on it, feel right at home. The geometry, handling, very intuitive, very confidence inspiring through corners, plenty of stiffness for sprinting and climbing as hard as you want, and reasonable comfort too. Probably not as silky smooth as a Trek Madone SLR or a Specialized Tarmac S8. I think on rough roads those bikes are a bit smoother through the saddle, but it's a well balanced bike. The handlebar does deal with vibrations very nicely. I do like the new handlebar, and it's good that Cannondale have finally embraced the narrow is fast, it's better mantra with handlebars. The only change I might make on this bike if I'm buying it or keeping it would be a longer stem. It's a 100mm stem on a size 56, and while I'm not cramped, another 10mm would be nice, just a bit more stretch. But it is a nicely shaped handlebar, and it looks snazzy as hell too. And on paper, the new stack is definitely a good move for the pros like Ben Healy racing the bike, and to put it in line with other race bikes in the markets right now. But right here, right now, it's hard to tell the difference. But if you have the current Gen 4 Evo, you might possibly have to put some spacers on the new bike to put the handlebars at the same height as you currently have them. So that might be something to look out for, and definitely makes sense for what is a race bike designed primarily for the pros, with all their feedback and testing, and then sold to us lucky punters who get to enjoy the same experience as the pros, but at a fraction of the speed. As I found out here in Calpe, the pros up close, they are jolly quick indeed. They don't hang around, even in training. And it's definitely the right bike for riding here in southern Spain. Lots of big climbs, lots of fast descent, some flat out fast coastal roads, very undulating up and down, lots of corners, and this all-round focus of the SuperSix Evo and other bikes of this sort of category is ideal. It'll climb well, it'll sprint well, descend well, just be the right bike in all the scenarios you'll find yourself in out here on these amazing roads with no traffic at all. I mean, I haven't seen a car the whole time I've been filming today. And look at this road. Look how nice that is. It's smooth, nice gradient in the trees, lovely view down to the ocean. Yeah, cycling paradise. And I've been very lucky to ride this bike for the last week and really clock up some decent miles. I've managed about 800 kilometers, so about 500 miles, riding 5, 6, 7 hour days, mostly on my own, not chasing any pros, and it's been a perfect bike, and definitely better than a quick ride around Girona for the press camp. Proper quality testing on decent roads in amazing weather. So thank you Saddleback, the new Cannondale UK distributor, for loaning me the bike for the past week for a proper in-depth test on this new race bike. A hot race bike for 2026 for sure. But is it light enough? Well, an SL trim at 6.4 kilos, yes, but judging the frame on its own compared to the benchmark, the Tarmac S8, arguably not. Is it aero enough? Yeah, I think so. The old bike tested well in various wind tunnel tests around the internet and didn't need to be much faster really. And they can save any mad aero tricks they have up their sleeves for potentially a new System 6. If that's happening, I have no idea, no inside info. But given the way aero bikes are going, the Carnago Y1 RS, Cervelo S5, the Factor 1, it would make sense given the market demands right now. But for an all-rounder, yeah, it still delivers. It delivers a fantastic ride, and a ride that puts a smile on your face. Yeah, nice work. Not the biggest change, but enough change to make it a better bike than the old bike, and a really compelling choice when you compare it to the rivals. And
I'm not a massive fan of aero water bottles and cages. Yes, they are more aero and save you drag, and thankfully they work just fine with round water bottles. But if I buy on a bike, I'll probably ditch those and put some regular round water bottle cages on there for the bottles I normally use. The new handlebar is a big improvement on the old handlebar. It's both cleaner looking with that horrible plastic headset cap guard from the old bike, and it's now as narrow as the UCI rules permit. And there are a range of options with stem length available too, and the handlebars are sized for each frame size as well. Also nice to see short cranks on bikes as well. 170s on this size 56, showing the trend is catching on with mainstream bike brands. I haven't gone down to 165 yet. I've been running 170s on my own personal bikes for the last 2 years and very happy making that switch to 170s. So definitely a move in the right direction. If the update here feels a bit mild, then you'd be right, but it's a sensible continuation of a classic and very popular race bike. I've been a fan of SuperSix Evo for many years, and I know lots of you watching are fans of the bike. So while the update isn't a drastic, radical update, it's a very sensible, mature update on a very well-rounded package. A bike is neither super lightweight or super aero, but just enough of both to cater for those people who want one bike that can do everything really well and not be hobbled whether you're climbing or go flat out fast. But could they have made it lighter? Well, probably yes. And could they have made it more aero? Well, most definitely. But have they actually left the door open for a return of a System 6 aero bike? I've no idea, but that would be exciting to see what they could do if they go full mad aero on a new System 6. But is it good enough to tempt you away from other very appealing and competitive race bikes in the world right now? Well, only you can decide. Let me know what you think by dropping a comment down below. And if you want to see some other race bikes definitely worth considering, then watch this video right up here. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like this on a regular basis on your YouTube stream, then make sure you're subscribed by hitting the button right there and down below. And I'll put links to the Cannondale website down below if you want to find out more about the entire range as well. But that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again very soon.